Hello students. In this lecture, we shall discuss about the Right to Information Act, which is playing a very important role in good governance in India. We have already studied how right to information has been safeguarded in UK, USA and France, and what are the different legislations in these jurisdictions to protect that right, and what are the limitations. Those limitations also we have seen. Now, Right to Information Act 2005 is a central legislation enacted by the Parliament of India to set up a kind of practical regime regarding the right to information for the citizens of India. This enactment was passed on 15th of June 2005 and it came into force on 13th of October 2005 to the fullest of its effect. The timely response is given to the people, individuals, whoever try to seek information under this enactment. There are certain very important aspects which are dealing with the relaxation of the Official Secrets Act of 1889. This Official Secrets Act of 1889 got amended in the year 1923, and there are some other special laws also along with this legislation which had restricted the disclosure of the important information. So there is a relaxation of and limitation caused of those provisions under the Right to Information Act. And the provision is made in the enactment that the Official Secrets Act is overridden by it, and all the other laws in force as on 15th of June 2005 to the extent of inconsistency, they shall not be having effect. So under this, any public authority can be a subject from which the information can be sought by the individuals, citizens of India. Let us now begin with the background of this enactment. India is a signatory of the very important declaration of 1948, the Universal Declaration on Human Rights. The Universal Declaration on Human Rights guarantees every citizen, irrespective of his caste, creed, nationality, color, sex, place of birth, that every individual is having a right to seek and receive the information, right to seek and receive the ideas through any media. Regardless of the frontiers, people are possessing this right. So this is recognized as a basic human rights under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR. India is a signatory to UDHR, thus it is the obligation of the Government of India to guarantee this right and to frame such legislations which will be in a position to enforce this obligation of Indian government as a signatory to Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Right 1966 is another document to which also India is a party, which again guarantees every person's right to freedom of expression, the freedom to seek the information, to impart the information and ideas of different kinds. So this idea is also one of the founding bases of recognition of right to information in India. Along with that, as far as our constitutional mandate is concerned, as far as our preambular objectives are concerned, we have the recognition of right to freedom, freedom to speech and expression, and right to seek information is also considered as a part of it in many cases. It is very important aspect of our democratic system of governance. A complete successful democracy is not possible. The development of overall development of the society, guaranteeing of rule of law is not possible without allowing citizens the right to seek information. And it is also based on participative administration principle. So in 1986, a judgment was pronounced by the Honorable Supreme Court of India, Kulwal versus Jaipur Municipal Corporation. In 1986, in this decision, the Supreme Court had given a direction that freedom of speech and expression, which is provided under Part 3 of the Constitution of India, Article 19 of the Constitution, it covers within its ambit impliedly the right to information. So, these are the foundations of the Right to Information Act 2005. To empower the citizens for the purpose of promoting a good administration, for the purpose of promoting good governance, for the purpose of ensuring accountability in the administration by curbing corruption and people's participation in administration. Now, there are various important features of this enactment. This enactment means information to be of any kind. It can be stored in any kind, any material or any form. Information includes all the records. The records, whatever is subject to information, people have a right to information. Means they have a right to know the records, they have a right to know the documents, the office memos, the emails which are given, the opinions which are registered in the files, the advices which are obtained by the boards or recommendatory bodies, the different kinds of press notes which are released by the departments, the circulars through which the directions or instructions are given, the orders, the books of accounts, log books, the different contracts which are being implemented and brought into force, the reports given by the research institutions, the annual reports, the reports of the performance, the official papers, the samples which are collected are included within the definition of information. The data, the models, and all the electronic or electronically collected information which is in form of electronic documents, these are also related to the meaning information. And public authority means any authority or any body which is the institution of the government or institution of the self-government, which is established by the Constitution or under the Constitution, or it could be any kind of statutory body which is created either by the union legislature, parliament, or by the state legislatures, legislative assemblies. Or those authorities are also included as public authorities which are created through the notification which is made by the appropriate governments, the state government or the central government. So, along with that, the term public authority includes all the other institutions or authorities which are owned by the government, controlled by the government, substantially financed by the government. So, somewhat, we have seen the definition of, we know the definition of a state under Article 12. Other authorities is described in the case of Ajay Hasija versus Khalid Mujib. Similar kind of explanation we are finding here to the meaning of public authority. Along with that, the non-governmental organizations which are substantially financed by the government, which are directly or indirectly receiving the funds from the appropriate governments, are also covered within the term public authority. This is a very, very appreciable step which has been taken while framing this enactment. Now we have seen what is information and what is public authority. Now we have to see what is the meaning of right. in general terms, we say what is right? Right is a legally protected interest. So, right to information is that which is defined under section 2 small j in the enactment, and it means right to information is that which is including a right to inspection of work or documents or record of the government, taking notes, extracts or certified copies of documents or records, taking certified samples of material, obtaining information in the form of floppies or diskettes or tapes, video cassettes or any other electronic mode, or through the printouts which such information in which shape the printouts in which way such information is stored in computer or any other device. So the right to receive this information, the right to extract this information is included as right to information. So under section 2 small f, information is explained. Under section 2 small j, right to information is explained. And we have already seen the meaning of public authority. Now under this enactment, the Right to Information Act provide under section 4, it requires the suo motu disclosure of information by each public body of certain information. Okay. Now along with that, the section 8 clause 2 and section 8 clause 1 are also very important. Section 8 clause 1 mentions exemptions against the furnishing of information under the RTI Act, and 8 clause 2 provide for disclosure of information which is exempted under the Official Secrets Act 1923 if larger public interest is involved. Now this enactment also has provision for appointment of certain officials which are called as information commissioners at the central level, and at the state level the information commissioners are appointed, which are responsible to provide the information to the people. And the time duration is also set up here, that within the period of 30 years, within the period of 30 days from the receipt of the, within the period of 30 days from the receipt of the application by the public authority, the information must be given to the concerned person. And in a normal case. But when the information is related to someone's life or liberty, so it is a severe matter. And in those cases, the time duration is only 48 hours. So within 48 hours, the information must be given. In case of absence of the providing of the information, there is a machinery provided, which is also making the persons answerable. The RTI Act gives the task to the officials which are already functioning, and they are designated as information officials under the RTI Act. So there are limitations and punishments also provided to those who are not able to give the information in time. There is penalty provided to such officials. Now there are various we may say challenges also. There are various kinds of informations which are again still not within the purview because of secrecy, because of intellectual property, such kind of things. And next thing is this: there is a possibility of misuse of this enactment also. Sometimes the act is used to harass the public authorities also, and large volumes of information is sought, and so it is putting unnecessary hurdle and pressure in front of the public authority. It hinders their working wherever some of the people, they want to take advantage and they misuse this enactment actually. The purpose, as I told you, as I shared with you, that for non-disclosure of information, there are penalties also provided in this enactment. So we have seen that there are various areas of wide ambit and amplitude which are addressed through the RTI Act, and there are certain amendments also which have been undertaken. And in the RTI Amendment Bill 2013, it was about the removal of the political parties from the ambit of definition public authorities, and hence they are to be removed from the purview of RTI Act. And so this is how there are various challenges to deal with the poor record keeping, also lack of infrastructure, extra burden on the staff and all. However, we may say that the scope for improvement is always there in any legislation. The shortcomings are definitely there in any legislation, but still we may say that Right to Information Act has played a very, very important role in ensuring the information, making the official information available to the people in India. It is also helpful in exposing various faults which are found in the administrative circles, and it always keeps the administrative authorities under check. They are, because of the Right to Information Act, bound to give the reasoned decision making, because they know that they could be held answerable, their faults could be exposed, the files are accessible to the people. So that is why they are careful in their functioning whenever they maintain any file or any kind of record. In every office, the information official is appointed, who is having a responsibility to take care of all the record, that it should be maintained in the proper manner, and so that and because of the penalty which is provided, the people are very vigilant. The responsible officials have to be very vigilant to maintain the information and to provide this information. Moreover, the cost to provide the information is also very nominal. It is not expensive to seek the information and to receive the information from the government offices. So in this manner, we may say that Right to Information is a very, very important tool in the process of good governance and open government, and it is playing a very important role in curbing the administrative arbitrariness. It is able to check to a great extent the powers of administrative authorities, and it is helpful in promoting and preserving the rule of law. Thank you so much. I hope that now you are in a position to describe the right to information in India and to explain the basic postulates of right to information in India. And we can also here discuss the right to information as protected in USA and UK and France, and similar kind of structure is developed in India by the RTI Act 2005. Thank you so much.